Hello, Leo. Welcome to this reading. On May 12th, there's going to be a full moon in Scorpio. So in this reading, we're going to be taking a look at the energies that are coming forward for you during this period of time. The time frame for this reading will be May 12th through May 18th. So really, we're looking at the week of May 12th, but the focus will be on the full moon in Scorpio. With that said, Leo, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Leo, let's go ahead and get into this reading here. Now, seeing as this is a full moon in Scorpio, during this period of time, you may be feeling like you want to be doing a deep dive on your inner workings, okay? A deep dive on like what your soul is trying to tell you. I also am predicting that a lot of people will be doing some relationship inventory, right? So they will be looking at the relationships in their life that are supporting them, that are fulfilling them, and also the relationships that may be superficial, right? What relationships are authentic and what relationships are superficial. This could be something that is showing up for you. And this could be relationships of all types, right? Not just romantic relationships, okay? So let's go ahead and make sure we're all set up here. Get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it. All right, Leo. Energy on the bottom. You have the devil. So the devil can look at our habits in life, right? And I think that is the first thing that is coming to my mind. What habits and routines are toxic? Do you generally at this moment have some toxic habits and routines? If you can answer yes to that, you can think of the idea of Scorpio as being a sign of transformation. You even have the death card, which is Scorpio energy, and we'll talk about that more as we go along. But if there's a toxic habit, a toxic routine, there's something toxic in your life, this can be an opportunity to transform that into something else, right? To work through that. This can also represent somebody that's kind of keeping you under their thumb. This can be somebody who is toxic for you in your life, okay? Somebody who tries to exert their power over you in some way. Somebody that's not really supporting you in your growth. I would say here, looking at this, Leo, with the devil and the Seven of Swords, there could be a person that you are taking a discerning look at, like, how do I feel around this person, right? With the Seven of Swords and the devil. What does this person make me feel? Like, how do I feel when I'm around this person, right? Because some of you may, when you leave this, like when you stop engaging with this person, when you're done talking with this person, you may feel like emotionally drained. Okay, this person may always put something on your plate or like, you know, kind of trauma dump on you, so to speak. There may also be somebody in relationship stuff here, or yeah, in any sort of relationship. There may be somebody that sort of like you feel like they backstabbed you in some way or something along those lines. I will say like the devil, Seven of Swords, it can be like a cheating signature, like combination in the tarot. I would want to see a 3 with that to be sure, like a 3 of Swords, a 3 of Cups. We don't have that, so I don't necessarily think that this has to be cheating. But essentially the devil and the Seven of Swords is like a toxic situation, right? With this Seven of Swords in the middle, this could be kind of a strong situation that you're dealing with during this week. The Seven of Swords also asks you to take a look at, you know, your strategy in your situation. Like have you built a game plan recently for something? Maybe in your business, in your career. Do you have a way out of potentially like a toxic habit in this case, right? Like, do you have a game plan to, let's just use smoking, for example. Do you have like a strategy to stop smoking if this is something that you want to do, right? Like one really helpful way to stop the pattern of smoking is to use positive language towards yourself, such as Leo is not a smoker, right? So you can change your identity every time you want to have a smoke. You can say Leo is not a smoker, and by doing this, you are changing your identity, which then allows you to potentially stop smoking or replace this former identity of being a smoker with a new identity of being, let's say, Leo is a gym goer, Leo is an exerciser, Leo is a runner, right? Something like this. Okay, so that's just an example. You can fit that in if you have another thing that you're maybe looking to work through. Some of you, I think, do with the Seven of Swords and the Devil. In the first column, you have the Four of Cups, the Emperor, and the Eight of Pentacles. Some of you feel bored in your work right now. It's interesting. Work's going fine for you, Leo. Like, it's going fine. In fact, it might even be going quite well. But there's a part of it that's like no longer fulfilling you. The reason I say work is going well is the Eight of Cups can represent like good progress being made in your career scenario or your career situation. It says you're really kind of working very deeply on some project or some goal in your work life. You can see this person here is working late into the night. Also says you have talent, by the way. You're skilled. This is one of the highest skill cards in the tarot. And you combine that with the Emperor, which is somebody who's acquired success through work and achievements. Also somebody who has discipline, by the way. There's something about discipline here. Yeah. The Devil would be the opposite, okay? The Devil would be somebody who lacks self-discipline. Versus the Emperor, they've really gotten to where they are through being they've really become successful by taking authority, taking charge, and also being disciplined. So it's interesting. The Emperor is Aries energy. Despite things going really well for you, it seems there's something here going on. Sort of what is the phrase I'm looking for? It's sort of like there's something in the background. That's what I'm looking for. There's something in the background here that's making you bored or apathetic at this time with the Four of Cups. And maybe this is why, like, maybe not everybody here is going to be like a smoker, right? So like maybe like your this idea of like boredom, through this state of boredom, you're like, let's say, watching so much Netflix, and when you could be, I don't know, exercising or doing something else, right? Like the energy of boredom here is probably tied into this toxic habit or situation that's going on in your life. They're also going back to, for those of you who are dealing with a person, this person is probably bored, which is why they're always going to you and dropping all of their stuff on you. This is maybe something that could be showing up here on or around May 12th, most likely, and throughout this week, that you are looking to process or contemplate or think about. In the middle column, you have the Death card, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Swords here, okay? So the Death card is the Scorpio card. We are looking at the Scorpio full moon. It's a powerful card. It means that there's change on the horizon. You know that too, okay? You know something has to change here with the Four of Cups and the Death card. I see that something has to change in your situation, Leo. I cannot do that for you. No one else can do that for you. This is a change that you have to embrace for yourself. It may be tied to or connected to this person that is kind of shifty in some way with the Seven of Swords here. And I think that there is an opportunity for you to, with this King of Swords, come to a healthy resolution where both parties are sort of in an understanding around where you stand. The King of Swords is somebody who's very good at, this is a good mediator. This is Libra energy, okay? This is a good mediator in the tarot. they can come to compromise, right? So what I would also say is if you are attempting to strike a compromise with this person, it's possible that they are not hearing you because they have this currently toxic energy that they are carrying. It doesn't mean that this person will always be toxic for their entire life, but for whatever reason, the season that they're in, they're bored and they're putting their toxic energy on you. And so if you are trying to come to mediation with this person and they're not hearing you, they're not understanding, the solution to that many times, everything's a little bit, all scenarios are different, right? Not every scenario is the same, but the many times the solution to that is that you have to walk away, right? Like if you try to help someone with something and you try to explain to them how you feel about something and they're not hearing you, what else can you do, right? So you may be in a situation where this person can't hear you, and this is something that's showing up, or they're choosing not to hear you for whatever reason. In the final column, you have the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. All right, going back to this idea, like if they're choosing not to hear you, or for whatever reason right now they can't hear you, they can't feel they can't connect with how you're emotionally feeling at this moment, some of you may decide to walk away here with this Eight of Cups. This is generally going to be very good for you, okay? Going back to if this is not a person in your life, if this is some sort of habit or routine or something toxic in your own life that you are working through personally, same thing here with this Eight of Cups. This is going to be generally very positive for you to decide to walk away from that scenario, because this will put you towards the path of happiness in your life. The Eight of Cups person is walking towards happiness, okay? But before they get there, they have to drop these things that are not fulfilling them. And so for you, I see that happening. You then have the Seven of Wands. If this is how you feel, stand strong in that feeling, okay? Don't back down from maybe having this conversation or taking this action, changing something that needs to be changed. You then have the Two of Pentacles here, which can represent like sort of instability, to be real with you. The Two of Pentacles can say money coming in, money going out, sort of a situation that's not concrete or solid. It can be a time in life where you're sort of like in limbo, or you're kind of trying to balance things out. It could mean that your money situation is sort of a work in progress, or like it could mean that like you're sort of paycheck to paycheck, or you're kind of like working on your money situation. Why don't we go ahead and try to get some more details on this? We're going to go ahead and start to take a look at the oracle cards here, the angel answer oracle cards, and see what is in the oracle messages for you. So we'll get into the clarification section of this reading. Okay. All right, we'll take these, and we'll also take this one. Let's take a look at the energy. Take a look at the energy on the bottom. It's up to you. Yeah, you're in control of your fate here. You're in control of your own destiny here during this time. Like you could, the Emperor, again, going back to the Emperor, they really take the bull by the horns. Okay, they have authority over their life, authority over their situation. You have that ability during this time. It's what you make of it. It's up to you. Yeah, there's something better, and if you believe. Okay, so any like person that you're walking away from, any habit that you're walking away from where you feel like maybe, oh, I just can't do this, I can't live without this thing, I love watching Netflix for 8 hours a day, whatever the case may be, you can absolutely work through this, right? You can absolutely work through this. And there is something better on the horizon. You then have communicate clearly. Isn't that incredible based on what I was saying? And then you also have in the near future. So this idea of communicating clearly seems to be pretty strong for you. Remember, I was talking about that with the Seven of Swords. And remember, if this person is just resistant to understanding, if you're coming forward to this person and telling them how you feel, and they're resistant to understanding, it's tough you know, it's tough to say what to do with that other than, you've said what you've had to say, and hopefully in the future they can maybe understand why you felt that way, right? But yeah, the important thing is communicating clearly on your feelings, your inner process, your inner thoughts. Very, very important for you at this time. Why don't we go ahead and clarify the original 9 cards by pulling some more tarot cards here and see what comes forward for you. All right. Do hope you're doing well, Leo. Hope things are going good for you. Really do appreciate you spending your time with me. All right. So you have the 3 of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Cups, and you also have the Moon. The Moon with the 8 of Pentacles here. There's maybe a little bit of, how do I say this? There's maybe a little bit of anxiety here. There's something under the surface here that is not fully present right now. So like there may be some like anxiety or something going on in the background connected to your money situation or your work situation that is not totally in view for you. Okay? So that's what is coming to my mind. So that's how I'm going to say it. I don't know how else to sort of vocalize that other than that's the energy. There's something in the background here, what I will say for Leos, during this week or during this period of time that's going on that's maybe creating a little instability with the Moon and the 2 of Pentacles. There's something going, there's some white noise in the background. There's some noise in the background here that's maybe coming forward, is kind of being uncovered during this week. You have the Queen of Cups here. I like that for you. This is somebody that, this is somebody that can really listen. Okay, this is the best listener in the tarot. Okay, so what I think is going on here is maybe because there's this feeling with the 7 of Swords and the Devil, if you're here for like what's going on with another person, if you're here in a relationship reading, whether it's romantic or non-romantic, and you're wondering what's going on, it feels like somebody's not hearing you. But there's also this idea with the Queen of Cups and the Emperor where maybe you are finally hearing what you're feeling intuitively, right? Like internally, you're maybe listening to the messages that are coming through internally because there's something going on in the background, which is good. There also may be another person present in your scenario that's a very good listener. And you can maybe talk with this person. But there's another person here, like the primary person that you're probably in this reading for, that for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like they're hearing you. They're not listening. You then have the 3 of Pentacles, which can represent your colleagues, the people that you work with. And the 4 of Cups. Let's see what's in the middle row here. Are you bored at work, or is there a colleague at work that's bored, that's stirring the pot, that's like challenging you on something, trying to like, there's something like that that's maybe going on. If that's the case, this person's like really bored. Okay, you have the 2 of Cups, the Tower, and the 3 of Cups. Okay, there's a change in the relationship for some of you here. This may be romantic and it may not, but the 2 of Cups may suggest that it's romantic. Somebody you're romantically involved with. There's maybe a change that's happening here for sure. With the Devil and the Tower, those are like shocks to the system, upheavals that happen in your life. This could be connected to a very significant relationship. You have the 3 of Cups, which, 3 of Cups, Devil, 7 of Swords is a combination of like cheating in the tarot, for sure. I was saying that I was looking for a 3 card. There it is. Yeah, so remember that these are general readings. You cannot, I can't 100% confirm these, but that is a classic signature of that in the tarot. Okay? Something's changing here in your relationship to another person in a pretty significant way. It feels like there's something going on in the background. Okay, is what I feel here. You have the 5 of Cups. You have the 2 of Swords. And you also have the High Priestess in the final column. Okay. Two of Swords, Seven of Wands. This can mean you're at sort of a crossroads with something. It may also mean that you want to really express yourself, and the cards are saying that you should really stand strong in that feeling here during this time. But you're having a hard time with it, okay? You're having a hard time with it, but the cards are saying to stand strong in that action that you want to take in expressing yourself. So what I would say is, if you really feel like you want to express yourself and you're not confident in how the words will come out, just allow whatever words to come out to come out. Okay, so like maybe some of you are, hopefully that makes sense, but maybe some of you are like, I want to say this to this person, but I don't think I'm going to be able to say it right. I think if you just say what needs to be said and you allow the words that need to come out, whether it sounds good or it doesn't sound good, it's better than not expressing, right? It's better than not saying anything. The High Priestess can represent something hidden here. Okay, this can represent somebody that's very desirable in the tarot. Okay, this is also a way shower in the tarot. This is like some spiritual guidance that may be showing up for you during this period of time. Finally, you have the Five of Cups. This is a bit of a challenging reading. There may be some of you may be in for a surprise here in relationship stuff, for sure. Okay, and I feel like the signs have been sort of going on in the background, and maybe the signs are now kind of fully being lit up here, and you're seeing it. Again, Seven of Wands, standing your ground around communicating clearly, I think. Something like this is going on. Let's go ahead, Leo, and let's see what else is showing up in the Kipper energies for you. All right. You have occupation, change. All right, let's take these two together. Main, female, marriage, community, mature woman, and imprisonment. Okay. Occupation and change. Yeah, it seems like maybe your relationship situation is fine. Although I think some of you are in for some changes there, but if let's just say you're like happily married, whatever, like things are good in the relationship and you have nothing to worry about there, there's no suspicion, nothing going on there. I do get the sense that you're bored in your occupation, and this could also be what's changing if you're still here and you're watching. Yeah. You feel a little trapped in what you're doing right now, and I think that there's an opportunity to sort of break free. This is what I have. Thank you so much for being here, Leo. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.